Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we cover all major movie and television news. And fans of The Mandalorian have been waiting with great anticipation for yesterday's episode of The Mandalorian, which features none other than Ahsoka. And I think I speak for the majority of Star Wars and Mandalorian fans when I say her presence was with almost out any flaw whatsoever. She was extremely well done. The character looked fantastic. Rosario Dawson did amazingly, and it really felt like the live-action Ahsoka was brought to life in this episode. However, being the meticulously and annoyingly painstakingly aware of the details of Star Wars as a fan base that we are, we did notice that there was one thing off about Ahsoka, and that's the purpose of today's video, to cover why Ahsoka's head tails were shorter than when we last saw her in the Clone Wars. Now, if you recall back to some of the earlier episodes featuring Ahsoka in the Clone Wars, you'll remember her head tails were actually very short. And then as she went on growing, both as a character and as a master of the Force and the Jedi abilities, they grew longer with her. Now, if they grew because of age or because of her Force abilities and her mastery of the Jedi ways isn't ever actually specified, but the point of the matter is, her head tails are definitely significantly shorter than when we saw her last in the Clone Wars, which can be confusing because if you are an avid viewer of these details, like most Star Wars fans are, it does make you wonder whether or not somehow she's younger here than she was in the Clone Wars, which according to the timeline makes no sense. Her head tail should actually be longer, significantly longer than the last time we saw her. And that is the singular detail that Star Wars fans have managed to pull out about this character that was off. Now, the reason for that being, obviously this is live action. Things have to be a little bit different. And the feature of this character required a little bit more than just really good makeup and a cameo. She was very involved and there were a lot of action shots, as you saw. So the question was simply, how do we make this actually work for Rosario Dawson, for the stunt team, that the prosthetics aren't in the way for the stunts and for the show? Not a very fun and detailed lore-filled explanation, but that's the actual answer as to why they were shorter in the live-action version than when we last saw her in the Clone Wars, where she was an animated character. Overall, I think everybody had to have been very impressed with how they actually translated this character from animation to the real world. She looked fantastic, the makeup was done amazingly, and the acting was very spot on for how she acted in the Clone Wars. There really are no reasons for us to complain as a fan base about the character's addition in The Mandalorian, her role, and what it set up for the future of The Mandalorian and potentially for the future of Star Wars as a legacy. So, a lot of very exciting points to take away from this episode, but yes, one thing had to be nitpicked, so we answered why her head tails were shorter, even though she's technically, chronologically, older and they should be longer. And the simple answer is that's just the reality of needing them to be shorter, the prosthetics, so that they could act and have some of those really cool stunts come to life without the issue of the oversized head tails. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I too think that this probably wasn't necessarily a video that had to be covered, but a lot of people were talking about it. I saw on Twitter, I saw people commenting about it, and it had to be mentioned. So, what do you think about the head tails? Is it a deal breaker for the character, or can you survive knowing that everything else was spot on perfect? Guys, we created a Discord, Cosmic Culture Discord. The link is in the description down below. Be sure to click it and join in on the fun conversation. Also, be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of the major movie and television news that we will be covering daily right here on Cosmic Culture.